Because I've had people, oh, well, he married you to get a green card. Okay, well, he got one, but we've been married 6 years.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Afro Millennial. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking to an African American woman who is married to a Nigerian man. Now, we hear stories of how African Americans think Africans are some kind of way, and the stories flying around like it's mostly negative. So, I met this woman who is married to an African man, a Nigerian man to be precise, and her story was so positive. Like, she had such a positive story to tell. I thought instead of all the negative stories, this could be a breath of fresh air to someone who might be in such a relationship or who is planning to go into a relationship like that. Join me as I take you through Monica's story. Such a lovely woman. She's an interesting storyteller. So I think this video will be really helpful to anybody who is planning to go into such relationships. Please like the video, share to someone who might find this useful, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so for more informative content like this. Stay tuned and let's enjoy the interview. Hi Monica.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, and thanks for agreeing to do this.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy you agreed to share your story with the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Story, and I was really interested. I thought people would be really interested in hearing how you met your husband and how things are going. So, and it's over to you, and you tell us a little bit about yourself and how things went down.
Okay. So basically, I was a single mom. I had 3 children at the time that I met my husband. He was friends with a friend of mine on Facebook. He saw me on Facebook on her page, so he sent me a friend request. And it took me about 4 days. And so I went on his page to kind of like make sure it wasn't a fake page. And I was like, okay, it's a real page. Oh, he a nice looking guy. Let me see what's up. So anyway, I saw he was from Nigeria, and I'm like, okay, do he speak English? Because I'm not really sure, how things work in Africa, of course. So anyway, I accepted the friend request. He messaged me. We started to chat on the phone. So I did ask him about if he speak English. He said, yeah. We laughed about that and joke. And originally I was supposed to go to Africa with my church group.
Oh.
And I started talking to him. And so he was like, okay, good. When you come, you can fly out by me where I'm at, and I'll like show you around Africa and this, that, and the third. So that was basically my plan. I met him in March, was supposed to go to Africa in July with my church group. Girl, well, that fell apart. Didn't happen. The church thing got canceled, but I still wanted to meet him. So I'm like, okay, let me see what I'm gonna do next, because I still wanted to meet him. So by this time, I started kind of having feelings for him. I'm like, okay, he seemed like a really nice guy, such a gentleman, this, that, and the third. He had been talking with my children, FaceTiming with them. I'm FaceTiming him. And we just started to have feelings for each other, just automatically. So anyway, that got canceled. So I was like, okay, I'm still coming.
Okay.
I still want to see you. I got a new job. So I'm like, damn. So now I got to wait about 3 months so I could work up some vacation time so I could still come. Well, lo and behold, in between that process, he asked me to marry him. So I'm like, well, okay, cool. So now this done went from a trip to hang out with you to now we gonna get married. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So anyway, push come to shove, I had to push the time back because I had to build up time at work. So anyway, I built up the time. We moved it to December. And that was the first time I met my husband in person, was on our wedding day in December. So we went from March to December and got married.
Wait, so the first time you saw him was on your wedding?
Face to face was on our wedding day, the literal day of our wedding.
So you went to Nigeria?
When I went to Nigeria, yes.
Oh, that was...
Exactly, just like that.
Yeah.
Look, you can't make this stuff up. So I had to have trust in my husband from day one out the gate. Because I'm like, I'm going to Nigeria, first of all, never been, don't know nobody but you. So if this shit is a mess, I'm screwed, basically. But I trusted him enough to do it.
And he did it.
He did it. And my husband slept at the airport till the next day. Because what happened was I missed my flight when I got to Turkey. And so I had to catch the flight the next day. And he stayed at the airport the whole time and waited for me. One of his friends worked at the airport. So when I got there, he helped me along with everything. I saw my husband waving at me because you know how it is over there. You can't really come past a certain point. So I saw him waving. I was like, thank you, God, he showed up. And we've been rolling ever since. But the crazy part about me and my husband, we never missed a beat. From the time we met each other in person, it was like we was best friends. We just had that bond with each other. And I can't explain that. I can't explain it. And so like I said, that was our wedding day when I got there. And I stayed there 2 weeks. Came back home. I started the process to get him to the United States, get his green card and his visa and stuff. And we've been rolling ever since.
Wow. Oh, that's nice. But I'm going to ask you a question because I'm wondering. I know I hear stories of how Africans don't really like being with Africans. So how your friends, the people around you, how did they take?
And you know what? And I'm gonna be real with you. The people who meant the most to me was good with it.
Okay.
Because I have 2 brothers. I'm the only girl and I'm the baby. And my 2 brothers told me, you got to love him if you're going away to Africa for him. And that was the end of that. They were like, if you good with it, you trust him, I'm happy for you, go do you. Now, I had people who was like, oh, they kidnap people in Nigeria. Oh, they scammers, they this, that, and the third, and all of that. But I didn't pay that any attention. I was like, this is my husband. This is who God gave to me. This is who God sent to me. So I'm going to go out on a limb and do what I need to do, forget the negativity.
So
that's what I did.
There was negativity, but you decided,
of course,
like, listen and go ahead and do what you felt was good for you.
You know what? I walk with God. I walk with the Lord every day, 24/7. And so I had to trust God and trust myself. And I did that, and I went and did it. And look where I am. It's 6 years later, and we still rolling. Because you cannot worry about what other people say. You cannot worry about what other people are going to think. Because if you do, you can't be happy in your life. It's not going to work.
So how has the journey been? I know, like, there's immigration stuff. There's
you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I did immigration without a lawyer and without God. My husband did a lot of fasting and praying, and we prayed together. We did that paperwork. I paid those fees. I did everything I needed to do that they told us we needed to do, and we did it. But without God, we wouldn't have been able to do it. And within 15 months, we was approved for his visa.
Oh, that's
15 months.
Compared to what I've heard.
That was without a lawyer. 15 months, we got it done.
So how did your children take the news? I know you mentioned you have children.
What? Yeah, before he came, we would be on FaceTime a lot, just like I'm doing with you. They'd be on FaceTime with him, talking to him, this, that, and the third. And I told you how I bought that book about Nigeria before I went.
Yeah.
And so I was doing like a question and answer with my husband. Okay, so B, the book said this, that. And he was laughing at me. I'm like, yeah, the book said y'all do this, that, and the third. So what's up with that? So I asked him all of the questions that I had. Because you're from there, you know better than me. So I asked him all those questions and got it out the way. So when I went to Nigeria, I had an open mind about things because I understood how it works.
So yeah, I was going to ask you about that. How was your experience in Nigeria? It was your first time?
And I'm not going to lie to you. The thing that surprised me the most was how hot it was. Because I know it's hot in the south, and I thought I could handle the heat. But when I went there, I was like, oh, Lord, wait a minute. This is different. Hold on. Now I got to do some things different. Because we went in the grocery store, and I was literally about to pass out. in the store. And I'm like, I know I can deal with heat. What's going on? You can't drink enough water. It's like I just wanted a hose pipe just over my head the whole time because I was so hot and sweating. Oh, girl, I was like, oh, Lord, what's going on? But I got used to it about 3 days in. I was like, okay, whenever we leave, it's going to take us a long time to get where we're going. So I need a lot of water. I got to stay cool and all of those type of things. But girl, it was rough. It was rough the first few days.
So how did his family, an American woman coming in, and
You know what? Everybody treated me with respect and love. Everybody treated me beautifully. I had no problem. No.
That's new, because I know like people talk about how Africans don't treat African Americans like they are white.
That's a lie. It's a myth. It's a lie. And I'm here to debunk that right now because I was there and I know better. I know better. I can debunk that right now. And all of my friends who are married to Nigerian men or Ghanaian men say the same thing. That was the best treatment they ever had in their life. The best.
You spoke about your friends who are married to Nigerian men, and in the website or platform.
The website is horrible. That website is horrible. I had to get off of it because it was so many things that wasn't true. And I had to step back for a minute and say, okay, what part are you playing in your situation? Why is what you have going on going the way it's going? And I can't answer that because I don't know you. But people have to be held accountable for how they treat people. If your relationship is going bad, I don't care where you're from. That's not the point. You have to be the right kind of person. And if you're not that kind of person and you don't respect other people's cultures and beliefs, it's going to be a problem for you. Straight up, it's going to be a problem. And as Americans, we tend to have this idea about, well, it's our way or no way. And that's not how that goes. And you can't go into a marriage with somebody who's not from the United States with that mentality. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. If you don't have an open mind and understand that they don't have to bow down to you, they are just as good as you are, they deserve the same things that we have, you're not going to make it. It's not going to work out. And you can't have grown children dictating to your husband like he a child, and you not defend your husband. I had that conversation with my children before my husband got here. Listen, that's my husband. No, he's not your daddy, but you need to respect him because he's my husband. And you're not going to talk to him crazy. You're going to give him respect. You have to allow your husband to talk to his family that's back in Nigeria. Think about it. You're the only person he knows when he comes to the United States. He don't know nobody else. And allow him to be him and to talk to people that's still in Nigeria. Of course he got to do it. He done left everybody to come here. So you have to be open-minded about that kind of stuff or you're not going to make it. The other thing is Africans believe in taking care of their family. Just because you're in the United States don't mean you got to stop sending money. You can't stop sending money. They still need money. They still got to survive. And you got to be okay with them sharing their life with you and them. Or that you're not going to make it.
So it's all about mindset, right? Like
your mindset have to be right. It have to be.
Now, looking at your journey from husband on Facebook and going 6 years of marriage, and if you had the chance, like, would you do it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Without question.
So no regrets?
No, not one regret. I'm one of those people who believe that everything happened for a reason. And you may not know what the reason is, but that don't mean it's not supposed to happen because you don't know what that reason is.
Wow.
And God put in place what he put in place. And I stand firm to that. I stand firm to it.
Maybe there's someone listening to us today, like video, and that person might be in the same situation you were in.
They got a lot of people in the situation, a lot of
So what
lots of them.
someone like that? What words would you say to someone like that?
Well, I have about 3 or 4 people that I've met who I haven't met in person, but we talk on the phone. And I tell them the same things. What does your heart tell you to do? Outside of what other people saying, what does your heart tell you? And you have to go with that. You can't worry about what other people think. Because at the end of the day, what if my husband was in the United States and I met him? He would still be from Nigeria, right?
Exactly.
So what's the difference? What is the difference? If I met him here or met him there, he's still Nigerian. Because I've had people, oh, well, he married you to get a green card. Okay, well, he got one. But we've been married 6 years.
And
So
then
if that's all he wanted, why would he still be here? Because it's not like I'm holding a gun to his head saying you got to stay.
yeah. And he stayed, and you have a good relationship, and you're still going strong.
Me and my husband don't even argue because I let my husband be a man. You're the man. You're the provider. You're my spouse and I love you. And I'm going to let you be who you are, whatever that looks like. Okay? I'm not asking you to be somebody you're not.
And so
And you don't ask me to be somebody I'm not.
last time we spoke, you spoke about how he's such a good provider, and
Yeah, absolutely.
that's normal among American men. Like,
I told you, I had to make him start working 7 days a week. I said, babe, you need to take at least one day off, because that's what he was taught to do.
and so this is to show that he wasn't after you for your money. Like, he's
Right.
really had to take care of his family, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My husband got here in February of 2021. And in March of 2021, he was working. He had a job.
Mm.
Because
And
guess what his wife did for him? His wife had him get his resume together, get his cover letter together before he got to the United States. I said, take it, download the Indeed app on your phone, post your resume on there, and you can get a job while you're sitting at home on the sofa. You can look for work. He didn't know nothing about that, but I enlightened him to it and showed him what to do. It's all, we're a couple. It's a team up in here. It's a team.
Mm.
Everybody in our house have jobs. You feel me? My husband not doing this by himself. I told him I'm your helpmeet. And if he needs something and I got it, he get it.
Mm.
He don't believe now. He ain't gonna ask me for nothing. That's not his thing. But I let him know I'm here for you. Because that's the kind of man he is. I can't buy him a sandwich. Because he like, put your money up. But I let him know I would do it.
Mm.
If it came to that. Because I got your back. And that's how we get along up in here. I got your back no matter what it is.
Okay, you take care.
Beautiful. Like,
Uh-huh.
I said, I think your story is beautiful, and those
Yeah.
positive stories will go as far as the negative stories go, because I hear looks. I hear.
Oh, it's mind blowing the stuff you hear.
Mm-hmm.
I told you how my husband, it was so much negativity. He was like, don't even tell nobody that we got married. And I told him, hell no, I'm not hiding my marriage. For what reason? What I got to hide that for? Because other people silly and on dumb shit. Excuse my French. I'm not doing that. This is my relationship. This is my life.
Mm.
And I'm not hiding it from nobody.
So let me get this shit.
Point blank period. Not doing it. See, I'm one of those strong mind people, you can tell. I don't worry about what people say, how they feel. I don't give a damn. However you feel, keep it over there. If it's not positive, go over there somewhere with that, because we're not doing that here.
Mm.
We're not doing that. That's not how we live in.
It's good to hear.
At the end of the day, life is too short for that. I'm not doing that. You mad at me because I married somebody that's not from the United States. That's crazy. Because at the end of the day, like you said, you met your husband here, but he's still Ghanaian, right?
Yes.
So what's the point? Explain that to me. Why is that a big deal? I don't get it.
It's just people have their ideas and they want to
Mhm.
fit into.
Those false narratives, and they take it and they run with it.
Mm.
You know, I had somebody say to me one time, "Oh yeah, so your husband got the bone in his nose, huh?" And I was like, "Where you got that from? What in the world? What? You know, nonsense. I mean, come on now. Really? This what we doing? Because you've been fed that.
Yeah.
And see, ignorance like that, you don't even entertain that.
Mm-mm.
That's ignorant. You and your ignorant ass ain't gonna never go to Africa.
Yes,
You know, for you to say something like that and put something like that out. I said a bone in his nose. I say, well, what African country you went to where you saw that going on? But this what we dealing with. That's what we dealing with.
Anyway, so I'd like to ask if someone wants help to go through something like this, maybe through immigration, and they need,
Mhm.
would you be okay with the person reaching out?
Absolutely. I've helped a lot of people. I have no problem with it.
Okay,
None.
so
Like
have-
I say, about 5 people I've helped since I've been married.
I could, if you have your Instagram handle or any social media handle, I can put it
Yeah,
down.
okay, yeah. If you're looking for me on Facebook,
I'll
it's
get
just
I'll get those
oh, okay.
data and then just put them in the description box for people to
Right.
reach out.
Mhm.
And if
Yeah.
you have a channel, I'll be happy to share that as well so people can come there. I think this is,
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
people need help, and I think
Yeah.
you're a great resource person, and
Mhm.
consider going more out there to let people
Mhm.
and
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I have no problems reaching out and helping somebody if they reach out to me. It's not a problem. Because you want positive feedback. You don't want negativity.
yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
Thank you for doing this with me.
No problem.
I hope the story goes far, reaches as many people as they need to hear this. So you heard Monica's story. You heard her journey, how everything is going well for her. I spoke to her a number of times before the interview, and I think she's happy in her marriage and her life, how her life is going for her. It works for her. So I think it shouldn't be about what people think. It should be about what you want and how to get that. And I wish you all the best if you're in such a relationship, if you're thinking of going into such a relationship. And I hope this video has provided you enough information, enough insight to be able to take some steps in the right direction. Thank you for being with me on another episode of the Afro Millennial. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, also subscribe to my channel for more informative videos or content like this. Bye bye.